All right, so first off, let's go ahead and take a moment, look through your options. We're not going to pay attention to this quite yet. So you're just going to select all the true statements. So I'm going to give everyone about a minute to think about it, look through it, and make your decisions. And then after that, I'll show you how you will show me your answers. So take a minute. Oh, I just realized that this is the same. My bad. All right, finish reading, finish making your selections in your head. And the way that we're going to actually tell me the answer is I want everybody to go ahead and annotate. And when you annotate, I want you to use the check mark button. Okay, so use the check mark button. And I want to see, because I can see the names, I can see who annotated and who did not. I want to see everyone participating. So we might see like a bunch of check marks all in one place. That's good. That means we all agree on the same answer.
Have check marks.
And if you don't have a check mark button, if you're on your phone or an iPad, then you can just put a dot. Just use the regular drawing tool and just put a dot or something else. All right, so go ahead, make your selections, put your check marks in these answer choices. Okay, take another 30 seconds or so. All right. So we seem to agree on A and B, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then the last two, some people chose the first one, some people chose the second one, so we'll have to go through those. Okay, so the first one is definitely, yes, that is correct. Let me go ahead and clear the drawings. Okay, first one is correct. DE is parallel. DE is parallel to AC. And that's because it was a dilation. And we know that dilations create parallel lines. Second one, what is that called? Angle B is congruent to itself. What is it called when something is congruent to itself? Good, reflexive. So that is also true. Angle B is congruent to itself. Okay, then I have BAC, and ACB. Those two, not congruent. There's nowhere does it say that's a rule. That is not true. So those are not congruent. However, BAC and BDE, those are congruent. Why? What is that called?
Alternate interior angles.
Oh, close but not quite. Close but not quite.
Oh.
It's okay. Jalen's got it. Jalen's got it. Corresponding angles.
I thought that was your favorite word, Perla.
Oops. So always just be careful because remember, alternate interior have to be on opposite sides. So those usually come up when we have something like this, a triangle that looks like that. So like this one and that one would be alternate interior. But in this case, those are corresponding. Same thing with BED and BCA. Those are also corresponding. Okay, so far so good. Now here's where we got a little bit, we were kind of disagreeing. So let's take a look. BD over BA. So BD over BA equals BE over BC. Over BC. So in other words, what are they doing there? What are they doing? I'll color code it a little bit better. BD over BA, and then BE over BC. What's that called? Or what are they showing? Anyone? Matter of fact, okay, let me ask a different question. When I say this statement, is this a true statement? Is that true? No, why not? Because we don't know that they are the same length. Okay. But is that what they're calculating? Let me do something that might help. Small triangle. Big triangle. Small triangle and big triangle. BD over BA. Are those corresponding sides? Yeah, those are corresponding sides. BE over BC. Corresponding sides? And what do we know about corresponding sides of similar triangles? What did we write down in the bell ringer? Corresponding sides of similar triangles are? Good, proportional. They're not 90, that's angles. We're not talking about angles, we're talking about side lengths. What I just did, this is small over big equals small over big. It's triangle proportionality. It's totally, totally true. Totally, totally true. This is correct. BD over BA is equal to BE over BC. Ask me your questions, please. We were tripped up over this one, so ask me your questions. I need to make sure that you understand. Triangle proportionality. Rios, Daniel, Emily, we understand? Okay. Now, what about the last one? DE over AC equals BD over AD. Does that work?
No.
No, why not?
So one on the left, they have what's the name? They're parallel. And the other one, it's like on each other. Is that what it is? Yeah, I think.
Yeah, they're like corresponding. They're corresponding. So in this case, they're doing the bottom two. Okay, so these match, these are corresponding. But then BD over AD, that's not what you want to do. You want to do BD over what? What would you do instead of this? Nope, those are not corresponding. No. BA. Because if I'm choosing BD for the top, I have to choose BA for the bottom. Small over big. AD is not the whole length. AD only takes me like halfway. This is where D is located. So you have to go the full length. So that's why that one does not work. Okay, any questions on this one? Okay. Okay, now let me uncover this. So which of those true statements can be used to prove AA similarity? E and F. Good. E and F can work. That would be BAC. Oops. That would be BAC is congruent to BDE and BDE and BED is congruent to BCA. So that would be enough information because now I've got two congruent angles and that's all you need. Which other one could you use? Which other one could you use? Answer choice E, answer choice F. And you could also use answer choice B. So as long as any of those that has to do with the angle measurements being congruent can work for AA similarity. Do I have any questions on AA similarity? Okay, moving right along. In the diagram below, DE is parallel to AB, and then it's telling us, okay, CD is 15, AD is 9, and AB is 40, and we're trying to find the length of DE. So try this on your own. I just want to see how we feel about it without going over it first. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Try it on your own, select the answer you get, and then we'll go through it. Okay, I have 2 answers in the chat so far, or in the poll so far. Go ahead and keep working on it. About 1 more minute. Okay, I have four answers. I need 3 more. Let's go, guys. Finish it off. If you got a guess, you got a guess. I'd rather have a wrong answer than an empty answer. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. 3 people chose answer choice C, and that is the correct answer. But that tells me that 3 people got it right and 3 people got it wrong. So that's a 50%. That's no bueno. Let's go over it. What do I have to do first? Get our proportions. Okay, so I'm looking for DE. So I'm going to call that one X. Let's see. Tyrone, start me off with one side of my proportion. DE over AB. Perfect. So X over 40. And Jalen, finish off the other side.
I put 9/15 for mine.
Okay, be very careful because I'm doing small over big. So match what Tyrone started with.
That is small. 9/15. Small over big.
But this is my
I don't.
What's
That's
that?
24. That's 24, right? Yeah, it's 24.
Okay, so now do it.
24/9 is a 9 or 15.
You tell me. Visualize the small triangle. Where's the small triangle?
15.
15. There you go. So 15 over 24.
I did much different.
That's okay. If you did it a different way, all we have to check is to see if you ended up with the same answer. Okay. Now we multiply. This is the easy part. We multiply and then divide. What's 40 times 15? 600. And then 600 divided by 24 What does that give me? Good, 25. So that's how we got answer choice C. So with these problems, they will try to trick you because you really have to make sure that if you're talking about that whole side length, you got to add up these two numbers. Any questions on this one? Yeah, I think B is what happens if you do 9 over 15. Yeah.
Have we done this before?
Yeah.
I know.
Okay, this exact question. Yeah, I pulled this from an old slide. Any questions on this one? Cool. All right. Two triangles shown below. Which is a true statement? Go ahead and put it in the poll. Okay, so Daniel, I think I know what mistake. There was just a little mistake you have to be careful about. Okay, 5 answers are in. I'm waiting on 3 more, but I'm going to give you guys 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. All right, D was the winning answer. Now, this one was a little bit tricky. It looks easy, but you have to be very careful. So first of all, are they similar? Are they similar? Okay,
Yeah.
yes. Why? How do you know? What did you have to do? Okay, they have the same 3 angles, so you got to do the math, right? What's that called? How do I know that this one is 53 degrees? And how do I know that that one is 37 degrees?
What Perla said.
Good. Triangle sum theorem. Good. So based on the triangle sum theorem, you can find the missing angle. And then you got all 3. If you have all 3, can you still use AA? Yeah, because AA is at least 2 angles are congruent. It's at least 2. If you have all 3, that's even better. Okay, so don't think that AA just means that you only have 2 angles. Because the thing is, if you have 2, you can always figure out the third. Okay. And then the last thing is just to make sure that you are writing the correct letters in the correct order. Because A is congruent to which angle? A is congruent to F. Okay, and then B is congruent to D, and C is congruent to E. So A, B, C would have to match with FDE, not EDF. So you just had to be careful about that as well. So it was answer choice D. Daniel, did you choose B by accident? Is that what you did? Okay. All right. Any questions on this one? Going once? Going twice? And yes, here's a question. Do you just add 53 plus 37? Yeah, you can do, okay, you could have done 37 plus 53 equals 90, so you're good. Or you can just do 90 minus 37, which is 53, and then realize, either way, you can realize that you're good. Tyrone, you have a question? Okay. Next one. Figure shows A, B, C, and D, E, F with side lengths as indicated. What is the value of X? Enter your answer in the box below. Take a moment, calculate it out, see if you can figure it out on your own, and then we'll go through it again together. About 30 more seconds. And Perla, remember, your proportions have to have corresponding sides. So yes, they have to match. So 2 corresponding sides on the left-hand side and 2 corresponding sides on the right-hand side. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So let's do the same thing we did before. We're going to set up our proportion. So can I have Emily start us off with one side of that proportion? (27 over 9). Okay. So if she has 27 over 9, let's go ahead and work with what she started us with. Let me have Perla. What would be the other side of that proportion? What did Janelle say? What Tyrone said? 21 over 7? Now, is that going to help me solve for x though? No, right? So remember, with your proportions, you got to have your variable in there. Okay, x over 7, 5 over x. I'm seeing a lot of different answers. X over 7. So is CB corresponding with DE? It's not x over 7, it's x over 5. It's x over 5. Okay, let's definitely go over that again because we did not really do that correctly. Okay, how do you know which sides are corresponding? Obviously, the longest side corresponds with the longest side, so that's kind of easy. But if you're not so sure, because 5 and 7 are pretty close to each other, if you're not so sure, where can I look? The letters, good. So it's A, B, C, and then D, E, F. So A matches with D, B matches with E, and F matches with C. So if you're not really sure which one it's going to be, that's going to be really helpful. So of course, 27 is AC, so that matches with DE, DF, I mean. And then X is CB, so that matches with FE. Okay, now we can go ahead and solve. Cross multiply 9x equals 27 times 5, which is 135. Divide both sides by 9, what do I get? What do I get? 15, good. 15. Here, yes, here we did big over small, but you could have done it completely differently. You could have done it completely differently. As long as you make sure everything's consistent. That's the most important thing. So maybe you did it this way. Maybe you did 9 over 27 equals 5 over x. Or maybe you did, you chose the other side. Maybe you did 21 over 7 equals x over 5, or upside down. You did x over 27 equals 5 over 9. That still works. That still works because, again, consistency is the most important thing. Because what did you do? You did blue. You did two sides of the same triangle, right? So you kind of did big over big and small over small. Consistent. Keeping it consistent is the most important thing. So as long as, look what she did. She did x over 27 equals 5 over 9. And what does she have? She did it this way, where these are corresponding, and then the bottom ones are corresponding. So it still worked out. But what I would suggest, Janelle's, is just so that you don't confuse yourself too much, you can always do it with another proportion and just check to make sure you get the same answer. Because you should get the same answer no matter what, right? So if you do it one way, do it with completely different numbers and just make sure that you get the same answer. Okay? Okay, cool. All right. This was kind of a weird one. It's a little tricky, but I just want you guys to try it out. So here we go. I'll read it for you guys. So in the diagram below, AB is parallel to DC, EA is parallel to CG, and then EB and AG are drawn. So I'm going to just annotate on it and mark down my parallel sides so we can visually see it. So AB is parallel to DC and EA is parallel to CG. There you go. This is like, it's just a lot of different shapes in one. There's a triangle in one direction, and then there's kind of a triangle in the other direction. So it's kind of like you kind of gotta like turn your head and tilt it all sorts of ways. Okay, I've got 5 answers in. I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes because I know this one's a little weird. All right, that is time. Okay, so kind of a lot, kind of torn. There's some A and D had kind of some popular responses, but not by much. So let's go ahead and look at this one. I always like to put these like crazy ones because sometimes the test will just throw one at you. It's a little bit crazy, but that's okay. So notice that there's kind of like a few different triangles that they're comparing to each other. So for example, I have DEF and CBF. So I'm going to kind of highlight those. So DEF compared to CBF. Okay, now what do I know about DEF and CBF? Since I know, I've got some parallel sides here. Let me redraw that. What do I know about these? Is there anything that's congruent? Is there anything that is similar? Anything? So maybe ED and CB are corresponding. EB and EB and CB. Now, do you know, so Tyrone is saying DE versus CB. Are those congruent? Are those congruent? Is there any way to know that? We don't know that. We do not know that. So they look congruent, they look right, they look great, but we just don't know. We can't prove it in any way. What do we know about these two triangles? Maybe not the side lengths, but what about the angles of those two triangles?
You have like opposite interior angles. Some of them are corresponding.
So this and this, right? C and D. And then also F, right? F is congruent to itself. So we know that they have all congruent angles, but does that tell me that they're congruent? No, what does that tell me?
They're similar.
They're similar, good. So A is not it, but we can say if it was similar, we'd be good. But unfortunately, we can't. Okay, so that's a bust. Let's try out something else. Number 2, BAG and BAE. Okay, BAG, BAG, and BAE. Oops. Oh, he crashed on me. It happens sometimes. It's okay.
Technology these days.
Technology these days, I know, right? Okay, let's try that again. So is it BAG, BAG, compared with bag versus bay. Okay. Now, I know Miss Lopez says all the time, don't trust your eyes. But let's trust our eyes just a little bit. Do these look congruent?
Some angles look congruent, but not the sides.
But not the sides, right? In fact, do they have any sides in common?
AB.
Yeah, the only thing they have in common is that AB. So AB is congruent to itself. Well, that's good. But that's where it all ends. That's pretty much all we know about this triangle because there's nothing else that I can actually prove because that's pretty much it. I mean, you know what? Actually, I'll give it one more. There's one more thing I can prove. Does anyone see it?
I know what it is, but I don't know how to word it.
Here, I'll give you guys a visual aid. Try extending this line.
Trans something?
And extend. Mm-hmm.
Translucive? Transitive?
Transversal. Okay, looking at that transversal and those parallel sides, does anyone notice which angles are congruent? Anyone? A and B, yeah. So this one right here and that one right there. Do you see it? Those are what? What are those called to one another? Nope, not
Opposite
corresponding.
interior. Wait, alternate.
Alternate interior. There you go. Okay, so now we got this. So we have one congruent side and one congruent angle. Is that enough information though? Nope. I have A and I have S, but I have nothing else. So unfortunately, B is out. A is out, B is out. C. So they're not congruent. Are they similar? Maybe. What else
Possibly.
would we need in order to prove similarity?
E and G.
Mm-hmm. We would need to know if angle E and angle G are congruent, or maybe we would have to see if A and this other side of B are congruent, but are they?
Yeah, since the other side is, yeah, the other side.
Hmm?
Since that side is,
Mm-hmm.
then it has to be same. Well, not the same. Similar. No.
Okay.
Alternate. That something.
But what's wrong with this picture?
Perpendicular. No. I am dumb. Hold up. I need to stop talking for a second.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I prefer you to talk, even if it's not right. Like, that's better. They're not parallel. They're not parallel. That's exactly what's wrong. So even though you have a transversal, those are not parallel lines. So you cannot make any relationships between any of those angles because the transversal is not crossing through a parallel line. So that's where it ends. There are no more relationships. There's nothing else I can say about this triangle. So can't prove that they're similar, can't prove that they're congruent. So here's our last one. DEF and AEB. Interesting. DEF and AEB. Wait, wrong one.
Oh, so I got it right.
Oh, that one looks a little more correct, right? That one looks a little more like what we're used to seeing. But now let's show why those are similar. So first of all, we know that these sides are parallel. And since that's parallel and we have transversal lines, D, we already said D would be congruent to what?
A.
To A. And then F would be congruent to? F is congruent.
Anyone?
Take it, Jalen.
Okay, it's B.
To B, yeah. And so now I've got A similarity. And I'm done. D is the correct answer. So
Tyrone's favorite is E.
this one was tough. Yeah, Tyrone's favorite is E is congruent to itself. This one was tough because it's a weird shape, right? So what are some strategies that I did to help it make more sense? Let's just talk about what I did so that you can think about what you could do on a test. What did I do? Checked all the angles. What else? Visually, what did I do? Because when I look at it, it was this crazy shape, right? So I outlined them. Now, obviously, that's a little harder to do on a screen for you on a test, but you can always, let's say I'm looking at answer choice D. If all I'm talking about is those two triangles, just draw them in your notebook separately. Because it doesn't have to be perfect, but when you draw them out like this, then you're focusing on those two triangles rather than having to look at the whole entire shape. So just by sketching those out on your notebook and then doing exactly what I did here, where you mark it up, that's a really good strategy to use. Okay, especially because these tests are not on paper, so it's a little bit harder to do that on a screen. Any questions on this one? Okay. Here's another math one. Go ahead and get it done on your own. Oh, let me stop sharing that. Okay. Go ahead. All right, it's okay. Sorry, I zoned out. I didn't see what just happened in the chat. It's even if Perla gave you the answer, just go ahead and do it and put your answer in the poll in 5.
I just told you guys how to complete it. So if you guys get it wrong,
5, 4, 3,
yes.
2, and 1. End poll. Good. Most of you got it. 4 people got it. It is C. Now, 2 ways to do.
Come on. Why did someone pick D or B?
I don't
First
know.
of all, Perla,
don't know.
type the answer in the chat. And then second of all, you can just look at the triangle and see that the numbers on the top are just doubles of the first one.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very obvious. Even I can figure it out. And I'm pretty sure I'm the least smartest one in this class.
Oh, Daniel, don't say that. I don't think that's true. Okay.
I think so, and my opinion is based on me. So it has to be.
Okay. I'll let you have this one, but I won't allow you to have it again. Okay. So Tyrone basically pity answered wrong. But yeah, does anyone need a further explanation? I think Daniel explained it pretty well. Okay, we good? Okay. All right, another one. This one gets it a little bit more complicated, but that's okay. Given that these two triangles are similar, what are the values of x as well as y? So we got to get both of them. So how many answers should you be picking in this poll? Okay. Good.
All that apply.
All that apply, but only how many should be right? Janelle's got it too, right? Because one of them is going to be the x value, the other one's going to be the y value, and that's the only answers you should have.
My poll disappeared. I pressed minimize and now it's permanently erased from this entire universe. I don't know where it is. Please help me.
Does anyone know how to get it back? I do not know how to.
Press the pull button at the bottom.
Huh?
Press the.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. 10 million.
It's not
Okay.
figuring this out.
Okay, I have one answer in there. I'm not giving away any hints. Figure it out.
Give me 25 more seconds.
Okay.
I need a whole hour.
25.
Tyrone, no thanks.
No,
I'm giving you the time that's in my head.
yes.
Okay, I have 4 answers in. I'm waiting on 4 more.
Got it. Easy GG. I got it right. I got it right. I got it right. I
Okay,
got it
okay,
right.
thank you.
Mm. So, so who's still answering?
I'm waiting on 1 more, but I think almost everyone's got it. Okay, so 10, 9,
Please hurry up.
8, 7,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4, 3, 2,
3,
1.
2, 1. 0, 0,
There you
0,
go.
0, 0.
Here are my results. The most
I got it
popular
right.
answers were C and E, but not
It's C and F.
everyone got the same number. So let's check because I see answers all over the place.
Obviously C and F.
Obviously C and F. Okay, let's find out. All right, let's start with finding X. To find X, I set up a proportion. Can I have Daniel start the proportion for us?
Okay, so I did it a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured out that AB or VA is equal to FD. In
Mm-hmm.
order to get FD, you divided AB by 4.
Mm-hmm.
If you do the same with the others, like AC,
Mm-hmm.
you get, well, you can't really do it with AC because in on FE you're adding.
Okay.
So you can set that for now.
Okay.
But BC, the 5 multiplied by 4, since we don't know the number for BC, 5 multiplied by 4 is 20.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get 20, you need to multiply 3 times 4 and add it to 8, because 3 times 4 is 12. And then 12 plus 8 is 20.
Okay, so you say you did it a different way, but really, Daniel, you're doing the same process that I'm about to show you. You're just doing it like more in your head than on paper. So what I'm about to show is actually
I'm not
exactly the same.
done!
You are for now.
No!
Daniel, please. So what Daniel basically did in his head was the following proportion. 12 over 3 is equal to 3x plus 8 over 5. It's the same thing. He just did it in his head. Because what did he do? He said, oh, okay, 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20. And then you solve for x. But we're just going to do it in a proportion because that's what the way I teach it, and that's the way to make sure you're getting the right answers. Because not everyone is capable of doing that all in their heads. So when you do it as a proportion, you end up with 60 equals 3.
I didn't do it on my head.
Well, you did a very similar process. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
All right. So here we got 60 equals 3 times 3x plus 8. What can I do to solve for x? What can I do? Times 3. Okay. 60 equals 9x plus 24. Now what? Minus 24. What's 60 minus 24?
I can't see.
36 equals 9x. And now? Good. We divide by 9, we get 4. So x equals 4. Okay, so I'm telling you, it was the same process that Daniel did. We just did it a slightly different way. Any questions on how you got x?
Mine was easier.
I will say, Daniel, yours was maybe a little bit easier. All right, now for y. For y, it can be pretty similar.
I would like to do y too.
All right, how did you do y?
So I subtracted 28 by 5, and then and and then I divided that. Wait, no, I just wait, wait, wait. Oh God, what am I saying? Okay, so I subtracted 28 by 5, and then there I have y.
That's not correct.
Huh?
That's not correct.
Did I say it wrong?
No, you got the wrong answer. It's not 23.
How?
Well, let's
Because
do it.
23 plus 5 is 28.
Yeah, but that's not what we're doing. That's not what.
Oh, but then you have to divide it by 4. Wait, what? Wait a second. Y is 2.
Yeah, y is 2. Y is
Because
2.
you have to divide 28 by 4,
Then you
which
can
is
subtract.
7.
Yep.
And then 2 plus 5 is 7.
Yep. Yeah. That was your mistake. So, but if we do it with the proportion, you'll always check that you get the right answer. Because if you did it this way, 12 over 3 equals 28 over y plus 5. The proportion never lies. The proportion will always lead you to the right answer. 3 times 28, what's that? That 84. So I get 12y plus 60 equals 84. What's 84 minus 60? 24. So I have 12y equals 24. Divide both sides by 12. Y equals 2. So if you're going to do things, if you're going to take shortcuts, if you're going to do things a little differently, that's not wrong. You just got to make sure you're doing it right. Okay, Daniel? So just got to be very careful with that, because otherwise, and by the way, Daniel, that remember what you said, that y equals 23, but would it make any sense if this was 28? Would that make sense?
No.
No, right? So you can always check your answer at the end by actually thinking about, does that make sense? We got 2, so this is actually 7. Makes a little more sense, right? All right, we got one more, and then that's it. We'll be done a little
One more?
early. Yeah, that's it. I left the hardest one for last.
B, C. Huh? What the heck is this?
Okay, here's the poll. Okay, I have 3 answers in.
Dun 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 dun. I probably got the answer wrong with dun 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 dun.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. I have 5 answers in, just waiting on a couple more. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, this one was a little harder. We went over this a couple weeks ago. Here's the answers.
Who chose B?
A lot of people chose B. A lot of people chose B. It was the winning answer. Now let's take a look. Let's see how
Who
you
chose
got.
D?
Okay, Daniel, ready? So there's a similarity. There's a similarity proportion that we can set up, but it requires kind of understanding, kind of visualizing, maybe pulling things out of here and redrawing the 2 triangles to help us figure out which one we're going to find. So we're looking for BC. We're looking for this right here. Call that X. And how many triangles do I have in here? There's 3 triangles. There's 3, right? Because I've got the largest one, and then there's the medium one, and then there's the small one. So don't forget that the big triangle is one of those 3 triangles. I'll highlight it. Here's the big one. That's our big triangle. Then we have the 2 in the inside. Okay. Now, okay, so this is where it gets a little complicated. So what I want to do is, I did this last time with you guys, and it seemed to help pretty well. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of pull these out. That's my big triangle. I don't know, I don't have a lot of room here, so I'm going to make them a little smaller. Big, medium, and small. And we're just going to label everything about them. Big, medium, and small. Okay. On the big triangle, I label everything. This is X. What's the hypotenuse? Good. Hypotenuse is 12. And we'll call this bottom section Y. On my medium triangle, let me highlight it. On my medium triangle, what's the hypotenuse? No. Look again. What's the hypotenuse? There you go. Hypotenuse is Y. What's the bottom? Let me rephrase.
Wouldn't that be 8?
So I guess this is where it gets a little
Over.
this is where you got to kind of twist it in your head. Because which side is longer, X or Y? Which one's longer? Y, right? So now on the purple triangle, the bottom has to be the longer leg. So which is the longer leg? Is it the 8 or is it, let's call this Z?
8 has a longer leg.
8 is longer. Okay, so this is 8 and then Z is over here.
I said that too.
Now for my green triangle, what's the hypotenuse?
X.
X is the hypotenuse. Which one is the longer leg? Remember, this is Z.
What's the other one? Oh, there. C.
Z is the longer leg. And what's the shorter leg?
4.
4. Good. Okay. We're looking for X though, right? X is the one we're trying to find. So which two triangles have X in them?
Big and small.
Big and small. So I'm gonna drag that one over. So we don't need the purple one. We just need the big one and the small one. And now I can set up my proportion. What would my proportion be? Remember, you want to see X on both sides of that proportion.
Wouldn't it like be like x over 4, 12 over x? Or
Yeah,
some
you got it. Oops, X over 4 equals 12 over X. And then when you cross multiply, what happens? Was X times
36
X.
squared is equal to x squared. Wait, no.
X,
36. Yeah, 36. No.
no, it's what was
Is
4
it?
times 12?
48. 48.
48.
48.
Okay, 48. And now what do I do to both sides to get X on its own?
Divide by
The
2.
rectangular boot.
Not dividing by 2.
The rectangular
Square
boot.
root.
Square root. Okay. Square root of 48.
3 root.
The square root of 48 can be rewritten as what?
Let me use my calculator.
48 without a calculator. We're doing this without a calculator. 48 is what times what? What are the factors of 48?
6.92820.
What did I just, Daniel, what did I say? No calculator. No calculator.
6.9.
No, I'm muting you. 48 is 12 times 4. Okay, but I think there's a better one to do.
7.
Nope, not 4 times 8, not 6 times 8. Think of another one. Not 24 times 2.
48 times 1.
Not 48 times 1. You're missing one.
8 times 6.
Nope, we already mentioned that one.
4 times 4 is 16.
Hmm. So we did 1 times 48. We did 2 times 24. We did 6 times 8. We did 12 times 4.
What about 4 times 12? Okay.
Oh,
3. What about 3?
there.
Yay.
Why is that one the best one to use? Because what does this turn into?
39.
No, 39.
Oh, shoot, I'm dumb. I thought it was 13.
This is 4 times the square root of 3. That's how we get B. Okay, I'm definitely going to give you guys another one like this on Monday because we need to brush up on this. But do I have any questions on this one?
That was definitely easy.
I'm sure it was. Okay. Well, that is that. That is it. So this weekend, y'all, study, study, study. A lot of you guys are on track to get a very good grade on this quiz, on this test. Even a lot of students who weren't doing so well before, I've seen a really good understanding in this section. So this is your chance to bring that up. I want to see lots of blues this time around. I don't want to see any yellows or reds. Matter of fact, that should be everybody from here on out. No yellow, no red. I expect green and blues only from everybody. But the more blues, the better. And I think a lot of you have a really good shot at that this time. All right, so make sure the only way to do that is to study, review, watch the videos. The lowest possible score to get green is 50%. Oh, thank you.
That's simple.
Yeah, you only got to get half those questions right, and then you're good. Is
So
there
I
more of
get
this on the
half
test?
of the questions wrong on purpose.
You better not do that. Is there more of this on the test? There's like 2 questions like this on the test. So yes. Only 2 of the questions are like this. So the rest, I would say, is a little easier than this one. This one's definitely kind of the more challenging one. All right. Okay. That is that for today. Good job, everybody. I will see you all on Monday for our last review. Happy Friday.
Hello.
Time to go and
God,
get
my computer
wasted.
died. Oh, come on.
Bye.